Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Sabrina and I am excited about this week's grocery haul. It is big, especially for us, and it's got some really fun autumn finds in it as well as some high protein staples. So let's go ahead and see what we got from Trader Joe's, Aldi, Vons, and Target. Okay, I want to start with some fun stuff. So these are the protein buttermilk and vanilla waffles from Aldi. And I like to compare these to the Kodiak cake waffles that you can get, except I think this is a really good value and the macros are very similar. So you get 10 waffles in here for $3.99, and that serving is 12 grams of protein. Let's take a closer look. So here are the macros. It is 220 calories for 2 waffles. And as I mentioned, that's 12 grams of protein, it's 26 grams of carbs, and 8 grams of fat. So this isn't necessarily the cleanest, healthiest waffle there ever was, but if you want a quick option, this is a nice one that has a good amount of protein and not too much added sugar. All right, let's stick with a protein kick and go for this Northern Catch Chunk Light Tuna. So I always make sure I get some tuna on every grocery haul. It's just such an easy, versatile way to get your protein in for super low calories. So you can see here for 1 can drained, it's 110 calories. It is 1 gram of fat, 1 gram of carbs, and 23 grams of protein. So it doesn't get much easier than that. I like to combine it sometimes with a little bit of Greek yogurt and some ranch seasoning and kind of make a little bit of tuna salad, and that is delicious. And then say you don't want a whole tin of tuna, you can just have a pouch of tuna. So it's basically just a smaller portion, but it's still a great way to get your protein in. I love the macros on this. It is 70 calories for 1 pouch and 16 grams of protein. So again, a really easy way, low calorie, to get a bunch of protein into your diet. And then I mentioned I like to add some ranch seasoning to my Greek yogurt when I add tuna into it, or sometimes even chicken. And so this is what I've been using. I just use 1 to 2 grams of this, which is maybe 1/4 of a teaspoon, and it works perfectly. It has a nice flavor and it lasts a long time. Okay, let's check out a couple of my other favorite high protein staples that I always have in rotation. So this is prepared chicken breast. They're chicken fajita flavored, and this is from Aldi. And I think this is such an easy way to incorporate some chicken into your diet without having to do a lot of prep. I do buy boneless, skinless chicken breast, and I prepare it for myself all the time. But I like to have one of these too because it just makes things so easy to be able to add this into your meals. What I usually do is combine this with some mushrooms and potatoes that kind of make a potato hash, and then I add egg whites, and that's generally my lunch, which I just love breakfast, so I'm ready to have it for every meal. But this makes it really easy to do that. And you can see the macros here. It is 110 calories for 3 ounces, and that is 19 grams of protein, which is awesome. All right, and then I've also shared before how much I love this dynamic duo. It is the after school special, let's call it, light string cheese and roasted turkey breast slices. And what do I like about this so much? Well, it's got to be the macros. For 1 stick of this light string cheese, it is 6 grams of protein and just 50 calories. That's 2.5 grams of fat and just 1 gram of carbs. So that is a super easy way to get in 6 grams of protein. And then I also really like this roasted turkey breast, and it is 20 calories for 1 slice and 4 grams of protein. So say you have your after school snack of 1 slice of turkey and 1 string cheese. That's such an easy 10 grams of protein for only 70 calories. So you can obviously have more than that. I usually have a couple slices of turkey and a string cheese, and it's just such an easy, fun, delicious way to get in some more protein. So I haven't hauled Laughing Cow cheese in a long time, but I'm really excited. I saw it at Target and I saw this creamy aged white cheddar flavor, and I thought that would be delicious. So for each little wedge here, it is just 25 calories, 1.5 grams of fat, 1 carb, and 2 grams of protein. So this isn't going to make or break your protein goals, but it is very flavorful, and it's nice that you do get a couple extra grams there. So this is going to be really yummy. I think I might do it on top of some potatoes. I could do it on top of some crackers. I'm just really excited to have this as a versatile option. I've also seen people mix this in with high protein pasta, which I think could be really delicious too. All right, and then it wouldn't be a grocery haul if I did not get this Friendly Farms non-fat plain Greek yogurt. It's very versatile because it's plain. I kind of call it my Faye knockoff Don't get it twisted, it's not as good as Faye. I love Faye, but this one's very affordable, and especially when I'm using it in recipes, I really don't notice much of a difference. So I enjoy getting it for all of those reasons. It's 90 calories and 16 grams of protein per serving. Primarily, I use this in my overnight oats, but I also like to use this as a topping and kind of like a sour cream replacement or something I mix in with tuna. So James really enjoys like a big Sunday breakfast, and we haven't had hash browns in a hot minute. So we finally found these at Trader Joe's, which is super exciting. You could definitely incorporate this on your journey if you like. One patty is 120 calories, so if you need that fix, definitely recommend popping one of these into the air fryer. Also for James, probably not surprising, is the sweet barbecue flavored chicken strips. And what I always like to say is I feel like this is a good alternative to going out and getting tenders and fries because we can put everything into the air fryer and it's just a much healthier version of that. And here are the macros for 3 ounces. It's 190 calories and 12 grams of protein. Okay, and then I know it is not summer anymore, but I think this is a great sweet treat year round and is actually more macro friendly than you think. And these are the mango cream bars that we get from Trader Joe's. What I like about these, number one, they're delicious. The mango flavor is on point, and so is the ice cream. But also, the macros are not bad because most of the time I have one bar, so that's just 110 calories. It's going to be 2 grams of protein, nothing to write home about. That would be 5 grams of fat and 18 grams of carbs. So I feel like that for a sweet treat is actually really moderate. So I love having these when I'm trying to have kind of a more modest dessert because I actually have really crazy desserts most of the time. So these are nice to have as something that is just a little bit more reasonable. The frozen chicken breast I like to get for myself is this Tyson grilled and ready chicken breast. And I think this is another one that is so good to have on hand because basically any meal, if I need to up the protein, I can just add a couple ounces of this. And you can see the macros here for 3 ounces, it's 110 calories and 19 grams of protein. So this is something that's super versatile and I always like to have on hand. Picked up some of the Friendly Farms vanilla almond milk. This is only 30 calories per serving. There's not much protein in here. When I want milk with protein in it, I get the Fairlife fat-free milk, which is super delicious and is just 80 calories with 13 grams of protein, so that works really well for creamies. But what I use this for is overnight oats, where I'm just kind of looking for a liquid and I'm adding protein powder and yogurt, so I don't really need this to have a lot of protein. Okay, let's rock through some produce. We got some baby carrots. Always like to have these on hand for snacking, and sometimes we'll use them in recipes. The 3 pounds of seedless mandarins were on sale, and so that was a great price and something we also enjoy for snacks, usually with lunches. So I picked up a bag of that. Got a lone avocado. James always has this with his lunch. And then have a seedless cucumber as well. That's for snacking. We always get a couple of bananas for the week and usually use these to top our overnight oats. We tend to share them if you're wondering why we have 3. 1 bell pepper. I actually have a bunch of bell peppers that I cut up in the freezer and I'm going to be using them to make a recipe, but they're actually the elite colors of red, yellow, and orange. So I wanted to add some of the humble green in as well. I've really been into apples lately. I'm always into apples, but I've made this delicious apple pie ice cream creamy, which I can link here, and it is so good. And what I do is I just kind of saute up some apples and put in some Truvia brown sugar, and that one is delicious. And I feel like part of the reason that recipe is so good is because it does have real apples in it. I don't know, it just works a treat. It's really good. So I've been using more apples for that, and then also dipping into the Trader Joe's pumpkin spice cream cheese spread. That is amazing and works really well with apples. All right, and then finally picked up 5 pounds of these yellow potatoes. I really like yellow potatoes. I find them really creamy, which is awesome. And I think sometimes potatoes get a bad rep, but they are actually so satiating. Like, sure, if you're going to fry them every which way to Sunday, yeah, they probably won't be as healthy. But incorporating some potatoes into your diet, 10 out of 10 recommend. It's going to keep you full longer. They're delicious. They do have a little bit of protein in them. It's just such a good vegetable. So don't hate on the potatoes. In case for some reason you're not familiar with the macros of a potato, which I guess before my health journey I probably wouldn't be, but they're saying for a potato, which you need to weigh it out and see how much it is, but say a moderate one, which these ones are pretty moderate, it's 110 calories, no fat, 26 grams of carbs and 3 grams of protein. So this is something that's going to keep you full and is so delicious. For my overnight oats recipe, I always like to add in about 4 to 5 grams of chia seeds. It's got a little bit of protein, a little bit of fiber, and also adds a delicious texture to it. So highly recommend adding just a little bit of chia seeds to your overnight oats. Then, of course, a key ingredient in overnight oats are these rolled oats. So just picked up an old-fashioned set. We're going through these pretty quickly because we have overnight oats about 4 or 5 days a week. Okay, we have a lot of jars and cans of stuff this week because I'm going to be doing a lot of different recipes, so sort of just prepping ahead. But here I have some of the Hunt's tomato sauce. I'm actually going to be using this in my Mexican lasagna, and I use this as well when I am making recipes. I like to buy the plain tomato sauce and then flavor it. For the Mexican lasagna, I'm going to be adding black beans and kidney beans. So I picked up a 1 can of each of these. They're going to have a lot of fiber. They're going to be really satisfying in my Mexican lasagna. So I'm looking forward to that. This corn will also be going into the Mexican lasagna. I like to get mine from Trader Joe's. It's just a weird quirk. I think it tastes better, so I always get this from Trader Joe's. My beans were from Aldi. I picked up some beef broth as well. I'm going to be doing a crock pot recipe with some beef and potatoes and carrots, which sounds really good. I'll make sure I film it, and so I wanted to get some beef broth for that. We're kind of getting into cold and flu season, so I just wanted to make sure we had some chicken noodle soup on hand. This is a preemptive measure. And then finally, James picked up some of this Dakota's Pride chili mild beans, which shockingly isn't going into our chili. This is just going into his lunch, but he will enjoy those. I know I said I like to make my own tomato sauce sometimes, but sometimes I take a hand from the grocery store. And when I do a bolognese for James, he's not as concerned, so I told him to pick up whichever one he liked. And he liked the look of this Prego traditional sauce, so that's the one he picked up. We were running low on spices, so at Trader Joe's I picked up the onion salt, which is absolutely delicious. I use this on everything. It is so tasty. And then also some California garlic powder, which of course we use this dynamic duo all the time, so happy to re-up on these. On that potato hash I mentioned, I like to use this tomato ketchup. This one I get from Aldi. It's not quite as good as the Primal Kitchen one, but it's pretty close. It's more affordable. It's easy for us to get. And what I'm looking for here is, of course, it's nice that it's organic, but I like that there's not too much added sugar. There's still 3 grams. You would be amazed how much sugar is in ketchup and barbecue sauce generally. So I know there's a little bit in here, but I'm glad it's not more. Speaking of sugar, I got the organic reduced sugar strawberry preserves from Trader Joe's. They have this one in raspberry, which is what I have tried before. And so this time I thought I'd pick up the strawberry. And you can see here for serving, it is 25 calories, and that isn't going to have any fat. It's not going to have any protein. It's going to have a couple carbs, and it's 6 grams of added sugar. So, of course, like you can see here, usually the added sugar is about twice as much. So I like that this one has reduced sugar, and I feel like the raspberry one at least tastes really good. So I'm looking forward to this. All right, I've shown you this before. This has been something we've been using to make an easy chicken tikka masala. And basically we do exactly as the picture suggests. We have a bunch of bell peppers. We add a lot of chicken. I usually add some peas as well, and this tikka masala curry sauce, and it works a treat. And the macros for this I feel are not bad. It is 50 calories for 1/4 of a cup. It's going to have 3 grams of fat, 6 grams of carbs, less than a gram of protein, and again, the sugar is quite low. So those are all things I look for in a jarred sauce. I mentioned I was gearing up for a couple of recipes. One of the ones I like to do is a buffalo chicken casserole, and I always use this red lentil rotini in it. What I love about this is it's a functional pasta, so it's only got one ingredient, which is red lentil flour. It's going to have a ton of protein, a high amount of fiber. It's going to keep you full longer. It's just going to really, really be a great replacement for pasta. Now, of course, if you want to enjoy pasta, but I like this one because it's got a little bit of that extra protein and fiber. Speaking of fiber, this is James' favorite high fiber cereal. We get this one from Trader Joe's. We don't always see it, so we were happy to see it today. And as you can see here, it's got 9 grams of fiber per serving. A few other items for James. He always gets a rice mix of the week for his lunches, so he's been into the dirty rice mix lately. He also really enjoys this oats and dark chocolate protein granola. I've shown you before, it's 10 grams of protein per serving. That serving is quite large, so I imagine he's getting less than that in terms of the protein, but still is delicious and nice to have a little bit extra there. Hidden behind here, we just needed to pick up some more canola oil spray. And then we are going to be making a sticky toffee pudding, which the recipe I use uses dates, which we pulverize. It's super delicious. I'm really looking forward to it. So we picked up some dates. And then finally, what I am most excited about for this haul, what I am here for, is popcorn that tastes like stuffing. I love popcorn generally. I always love my snacky snacks. I try to make them macro friendly. But yeah, so popcorn usually fits in that category. And what happened was we went to Target and they just had like a couple of these stuffing popcorns left. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't find stuffing popcorn at Trader Joe's. I've got to get it at Target. So picked some up at Target and we can take a look at the macros for fun, but I really don't care. Okay, so it's not bad. 30 grams is always going to be the serving size, but you get a lot for that. It's 2 1/4 cups. It's going to be 5 servings in this bag. 8 grams fat, 16 grams carbs, 2 grams protein. Again, not really eating this for nutritional value. I'm eating this for fun. But yeah, this little blurb is just saying it's going to taste like stuffing, and I am super stoked for that. So then, after we had acquired the goods from Target, we went to Trader Joe's, and they had a huge end cap of stuffing popcorn. They're calling it stuffing seasoned popcorn. I was like, oh, well, I have to get this one too. So I actually get to do a taste test and see which one I like most. I mean, both of the bags are pretty cute, so I think I will be winning. The macros are looking very similar. It's 140 calories. It's again, those 30 grams is going to be the serving. It looks like it's a little bit more fat, a little bit more carbs, a little bit more protein, but the serving size is also just a tiny bit bigger. So I think these are going to be very similar, but I am super excited because I love popcorn and I love stuffing. So yeah, happy day for me. Okay, so thank you so much if you stayed until the end. I can't believe you did, and I really, really appreciate it. If you did, why don't you put a little corn emoji, and that way I know you made it to the end. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed this haul, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks. Bye, guys.